Hey everyone, this is Elias from RevMatch Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2022 Ram 2500. Now, this thing is massive, but it also delivers in a massive way. Let's go ahead and get started. We get started in the front and we can see this is very Ram in your face front end. A couple of things I like about this setup is we do have the Ram LED headlights. One of my favorite things is this kind of frosted, kind of daytime running light we have here, and we have the LED lights themselves illuminate the road really nice, really clean, but it is a nice design that I love with that headlight, the whole kind of enclosure, so to speak. And we do have the LED fog lights down here, which are a nice touch. This does have the tow points right up front here, and we have the massive front Ram grille, which is nice. I do like it in the chrome. Usually I'm a sports option, so sports appearance usually means that it's the color of the truck itself or a black, but in this case the chrome is nice. And we do have the front facing camera on here to help with the 360-degree view that this has. Really nice and clear, no complaints about how that gets projected on the screen inside. But yeah, overall we have nice big chrome, nice design cues to this front end, and I really like this. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in this massive hood. We get under the hood and we have the massive 6.7 liter inline six Cummins turbo diesel engine. This thing is cranking out 370 horsepower and 850 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 6-speed auto and then to the 4x4 system that this is equipped with. Now, let me tell you, this is all about big. You can see this compartment is really big, but that engine is just as big. So yeah. Now, even though it says 850 pound-feet of torque, it doesn't feel like that. It does definitely feel less. So don't expect that, you're flooring it and you're just gonna be, race truck kind of thing. So it does take a while for the turbo to spool in its higher RPM range. But once this truck has some momentum, it's really good. It feels, the power is smooth, no complaints. It sounds really good, even though it has that sound dampening to make it a quieter cabin or whatever the case is. But it does sound good. You can hear the turbo, which is good. Nice fun. But overall, it's been nice rig. I do feel it's no issues with the power as far as. Again, don't feel off the line you're going to get a ton of power, but it does get this guy moving. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have in those wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package and we have a massive 20-inch wheel, and it is wrapped in the 285/60 Firestone Transforce AT tire. Now, this setup is nice. It's very comfortable. The wheel looks really nice. It is an 8-lug configuration for the 2500. I like the design. I like the color of it. The tire wears fine. No road noise. No, it gave you enough feel. Now the suspension, I can see it's massive. Definitely heavy duty stuff there, which is going to sacrifice a little bit of the overall ride quality when you hit a bump. Because again, this is made to typically be loaded up with a lot of things or just a lot of weight. So it's fine. It's not, don't expect Ram 1500, with air suspension ride quality, which is a dream. It really is, but it does a great job. And I wouldn't want it to be that plush feel, especially when towing safety is the more important thing with a rig like this. But this has been really, really nice. I do love the way that it looks. Big tire, big wheel, big everything. Well, let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get over to the side and we can see this is a big truck. This is a tall truck. which is nice. It looks really good. So a couple of things. We get started kind of on the front. We can see that nice 2500 heavy duty badge in there, which is nice. We do have this nice gray color. It has like a brownish gray tone to it. Really good color. We have the big Cummins turbo diesel badge to let everyone know, yeah, this is a little bit of an extra special rig there. We also have those big wheels and tires. And again, with this being such a tall truck, I am so glad this came with steps, because it is definitely easy to get in. They're not deployable, which is fine. This actually has a really good height to really get you or the kids in here as well. With this being a crew cab, we do have, again, the back door. The inside kind of felt a little bit smaller this time than the 1500. I don't know if that is the case. My perception may be wrong. I would have liked to see a mega cab, which is the really, really massive rear cab for the Ram trucks. So that would have been nice. Ram, maybe next time. And we do have the 6'4" bed in the back. And this does give you the option of going with an 8-foot bed as well. Yeah, that definitely wouldn't have fit on my driveway, because as it is, this barely fit in there without hanging over the sidewalk. But we have that. In the rear, we do have air suspension. It is kind of a lighter air suspension than I'm kind of used to on the Rams, because Rams will typically, when you get the 4-corner, that is the difference. It's a 4-corner air suspension. The whole thing goes up and down. With this, it's only the rear to help with any towing rigs on this. But yeah, overall, it is a nice looking truck from the side. We do have the mirrors here. I want to talk a little bit about the mirrors. I was a little kind of not impressed by the mirrors. So we do have the 360 camera system, which is really good, but we have dual mirrors here. We have the kind of your standard, and then more for towing, like more fisheye look to it. With this, I didn't like, because this one was fine. Driver's side is perfect. Passenger side was magnified. The main mirror was magnified, and it really showed you a narrow view. And then you're having the more kind of fisheye, I guess you could say. And it was just hard to kind of change your eyes and kind of see. So just be aware. Just be aware. I don't know if you could change that, but I definitely would. But again, we're nitpicking with things. But overall, definitely a nice side. Now let's take a look at the keyless entry. So I do have the key in my pocket, and I'm gonna go ahead and get next to it, because I am next to it, grab the door handle and pull, and nothing happens. I don't have a button. I don't have anything that is gonna let me open the door unless I have the key and I press the button. I know you guys are probably saying, well, you know, stop being lazy, but it would be nice to know that I can, you know, just go ahead and open this up and not have to take my keys out. What if I have something in my hands like I did this morning on my camera gear? I just needed to open the door and I couldn't. I had to put everything down, grab my key, unlock it. It would be nice to have it just like you do on the Ram 1500s. But the other thing is, you unlock once, and I believe you have to program it to unlock all. So make sure you go into your settings and you change that, because this is kind of annoying that now I'm having to take the key out again. I know, you guys are probably gonna put it in the comment section, stop being lazy, but it's a nice feature to have. If you already have the key nearby, then, you know, why not? So we do have that. But overall, like I said, it's a nice looking side profile. So let's go ahead and see what we have in that bed in the back. We get to the back and we have a very simple but very straight to the point Ram bed. Couple of things: taillights, nice design, nice simple design. We have our Lone Star badging in the back, big Ram badging in the back here. And here's when we start to get to the smaller things. So with this bed, it's not a fancy bed, tailgate. You know, it's not the split or anything like that. Just a standard tailgate. It's fine. It's actually a fairly light tailgate. no complaints there. This does have the bed liner on it, which is nice. It does have the cover in the back, so I can go ahead and open that up to show you guys that this one has the 5th wheel set up ready to go. So we have that cover, and it has the connection for that. So this guy can tow a ton, a ton of tons. So what's really cool about Ram is I don't know exactly how much this one can tow till I got to the website, because I didn't get the standard paper that I usually get. But it was nice that I can go to the Ram website, input the VIN number for it, and it will tell me. So the max payload for this is 1,994 pounds, and the max towing, the way that this specific model is 17,790 pounds. So it's a pretty cool thing. Definitely check it out. If you have a Ram truck and you're not 100% sure, you know, how much you can tow, just input your VIN number in the website and it will tell you. But yeah, we have this here. We do have the LED lights in here. We have the tie down point here. We have some hookups in there, and we get to the back here. We have the trailer camera system there, and we have you know, just more power connections right in there, which is good. Big big area to hook up your trailer there. And this does have the side step. This is always a little on the tricky side. I'm not a big fan of this, especially that it's with my left leg. I'm not, you know, I'm more right dominant. So the fact that you have to kind of put, and it's not even that it's hard to get out. It's a special way you have to kind of push down and back. Yeah, but it's okay. I'm not a big fan of these because again, I am now limited to just one side of the truck, and I can just kick that back in and you're good to go. Now with this truck, let me find my keys. I can go ahead and push the button twice. It beeps, and yeah, we fire up that big inline 6 turbo diesel engine, and let's go ahead and hop in for a ride. You get inside of the Ram 2500 and it's very similar to all the Rams that I've driven, which isn't a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing because I like the inside of the Ram. I like the interior. So a couple of things. We're gonna get started with the door. Just again, nothing fancy, nothing different. Great positioning, you know, very comfortable ergonomics there. We then get to the seats. Now, the seats for this specific model is the cloth seats. They do have a leather option. I would probably opt for that, specifically because these specific ones have been shocking the hell out of me. I've been getting out, and you know, just kind of the movement of you kind of getting out has really caused a lot of static electricity, to the point where I'm having to, you know, put my hand, you know, open the door, put my hand on the metal itself, on the bodywork, and then kind of slide out. Yeah, so that's been a shocking revelation regarding these seats. But other than that, they're super comfortable. These do have the heated option for them. They worked really well. It really warmed up the seats when it needed to. When we had a little bit of a colder weather this week, and we also have the adjustability on the side here, but we don't have it in the passenger seat. So it is only driver's side has the electrics. The passenger does not. It is limited on that. Yeah, it would have been nice to just, you know, if you're gonna have it at this, at least give me some basic functions on the other one. We get over to the steering wheel, and the steering wheel is Ram. It's a big truck, Ram truck steering wheel. Nothing really different about it. It feels nice. It's really easy to drive. With the heated option for the steering wheel, it made it nice and toasty when we did have, again, that cold weather. So we do have those comforts there. One thing with this, again, with the Stellantis vehicles, we do have the back of the steering wheel does have my volume and my next track controls, which I love. Except this is kind of confusing. So, and I want you guys to tell me in the comments, when you want to go to next track, would you press the up button or the down button? Let me know, because for this one, you actually have to press up. And it kind of makes no sense, because I'm here thinking you want to go to the next track on the list. You don't want to go to the previous one on the list. If we're kind of, yeah, it's very confusing, but just be aware that it is backwards. Yes, I'll say it's backwards, but let me know what you think in the comments. But we have that. But again, nice leather wrapped, no issues there. Then we get over to the gauge cluster, and the gauge cluster is RAM. It's really nice. We still have analog gauges. One of the very few that haven't gone full, you know, kind of digital display on here, but it does look nice. It's still a big screen in the middle, and there's a lot of information with this, which is what I really like in the RAM vehicles. So you know, we have the vehicle, we're in the vehicle info, which is really the one that's going to give you the most data. But we have like the tire pressure, we have the coolant temp, we have the trans temp, the oil pressure, boost pressure, that one was a fun one, diesel particle filter, oil life. You get the point. There's a lot of options in this. Oh, and this has the exhaust brake, which we'll get into in the performance side. But yeah, it's a lot of great information on here, and nice and clear. No concerns with that. So I'm happy with this. I don't know if it's like, you know, you want to take a chance with changing it, but maybe not messing it up. So I don't know if I'd want to really change that gauge cluster. So yeah, I'm kind of iffy about changing something that works really, really well. We then get to the pedals in this case. I want to mention the pedals in this, because this does have adjustable pedals, which made driving this really, really easy. So I can adjust for my lack of height and get the pedals closer to me. But it's not even just the lack of height, but it just gives me that extra comfortable positioning that I'm not having to be really close to the wheel, but I can bring the pedals back forward towards me, or back, yeah, towards me, and I am able to easily and comfortably drive the truck. So it's a nice thing, especially for my wife. She is on the shorter side, so I feel safer knowing that she can bring the pedals closer to her, and she is not really, really close to the wheel in case of an accident, you know, airbag deploying, maybe a little too close to her. So we do like that. That's one of our favorite things with Ram trucks. Then we get over to the infotainment system, and this is on the smaller side. So this is the smaller screen for the Ram. I don't know if I'm okay with it. I love the massive screens, but it was fine for what this truck is. Yeah, it's nice to have some big luxuries, tech stuff, but the smaller screen was a nice touch. It does give you a bigger option for more physical buttons here, but overall I did like the screen there. It is Uconnect 5, so it is wireless Apple CarPlay. I did have just one disconnect and just turned off the truck, turned it back on, and we were good to go. Not sure what happened, but yeah, so no issues there. This does have also the mirror on the top that does give you the camera view in the back. I want to talk about the mirrors. These mirrors have been a little bit, shall we say, difficult to use, or at least for myself. So this mirror, rear view mirror, doesn't give me much visibility, but it does have the camera function, which is really, really good. I've been able to use that and prefer to use that over just the basic mirror itself. Now, I'll just kind of leave it like this though. Actually, let's do this. We'll leave it like that to show it off. But the outside mirrors have been really difficult to work with. The left one is perfect. I do like the visibility. It gives me a nice view of the rear, of the next lane, and the tow mirror this has, the little sliver, was great. It's magnified or enough to be able to see even more than what this does, or more spherical in the sense to, you know, bigger fisheye. Think like that. My right window, that's where I'm having an issue, because that is significantly magnified on the standard side. And it's kind of hard for my eyes to adjust. And I feel like I'm having to kind of do one of these to see kind of what's around, because think of it like you zoomed in and now you're only seeing a smaller field of vision, so to speak, instead of being able to see more. And I get that you have the kind of the toe side of it and you can see more, but it's then hard to kind of position your eyes and see, okay, so what am I seeing? I don't know. It's a little bit more difficult. I know it's kind of weird, but I've been having really a lot of safety concerns, honestly, because I'm needing to make sure, or actually move my head completely to make sure I don't have anyone in my blind spot, because again, that isn't really giving me the view that I'd like I have in my left side mirror. Let's go back to the infotainment system area. So we have the screen there. It's nice, it's small, it's not super big, it's not super small. It works on a good level. We come down here and we have some of the radio controls there, traction control, lane departure, that kind of stuff. We have a little bit lower the AC control or the climate control. No issues there, very simple. I had to override the auto functions because it wasn't doing what I needed it to do, which was make the truck warmer. It was trying to defrost the front windshield, which it didn't need to. But yeah, so I just normally manually put it myself and we were good to go. We come down here, and because again, this guy is a trailer truck, you know, hauling, towing truck. We have a trailer brake here, which is a nice touch. We do have, with that air suspension, we do have an alternate trailer height, which adjusts for easier, you know, towing in the back, which is good. We have the exhaust brake. This has been really nice. This is my first use of exhaust brake. So it, you know, just a matter of putting it there, and it will use the engine's, essentially the exhaust to think of it like engine braking, so to speak, where it will, but you let off the gas and it will start to slow the truck, which is good because that way you basically distribute the workload. Instead of your brakes taking the grunt of slowing it down, you can use the engine a little bit to slow down a big, you know, rig that you may be towing. So you have that, and you can set it to off automatic or to be full time. And you have that little gauge there, which is nice to show you how much the exhaust brake is working. We then come down to the charging area. So the charging area has two USBs, or two USB groups. We have a USB-A and a USB-C. This doesn't have wireless charger, so it doesn't have the RAM charger that the other 1500s have had. I don't like this, and the reason why is because when you go to put your phone where, you know, and the little holder there that has a little hole underneath for you to run the cable, it hits the cable at the top. So I am having to either put it on the other side or just not even charge my phone or put my phone somewhere else. So that was one of the things where I was a little, yeah, we're gonna get nitpicky with it, but it wasn't ergonomically correctly located. We come a little bit back and we do have cup holders, nice big cup holders, no issues there. It does have those rubber grommets or those rubber kind of holders on the side. Be careful with those because those can be a little on the tighter side, but overall they work well and you're able to put that there. Then we have a little bit of a compartment here where we can put some things. That's where I have my mic pack right now. Works great. And we are able to reposition this kind of drawer here to put some content or just some things underneath the drawer there, so to speak. Then we get to the armrest, and the armrest kind of has these like two compartments. So it has a smaller compartment on top, And then when you close that, you have the bigger area, which is fine. I mean, it's a good amount of space paired up with whatever you have in the front as well. It's a good compartment, so no issues with storage there. We get to the back seats, and the back seats are comfortable. They're nice. They feel a little bit smaller than the 1500 crew cab, so I'm not 100% sure. Numbers may be the same, but this week I didn't have my kid's seat in there. I tried putting it in. It didn't feel correct. It might have been a little too tall. So I was like, you know what? This week we're gonna go with the booster seat. And we did, and the booster seat was great. He was able to comfortably sit back there, had no issues with it, loved it, and we were good to go. The one thing I did like is the storage compartment, that if you put the seat up, you do have like a little platform that you can take out in case you need to put you know, something maybe flat across with the channel of the transmission or the drivetrain, you know, flat with that. So it makes it great for you to put anything that may be a little bit on the longer side there. I put something underneath that compartment and things above it, so it was a nice little storage thing, because again, it gave me that stability of, okay, I have an additional platform instead of just kind of putting my groceries on top of and just kind of packed on top. So that was a nice touch. Then we get to the bed, and like we saw, the bed was a bed, but it does have that fifth toe kind of connection ready to go for those bigger rigs that you're wanting to tow. So it is nice there. Now let's talk performance. We're dealing with a 6.7 liter inline six turbo diesel Cummins engine. It is cranking out 370 horsepower and 850 pound-feet of torque. Torque monster. Yes, it is going through the 6-speed auto, and then with this one being a 4x4 model to all four wheels, or option of all four wheels. Yeah, this thing is a torque monster. Now, oddly enough though, it doesn't feel like a torque monster until the charger or the turbocharger comes in, and then it kind of goes. Yes, kind of, because it's not, it doesn't really go. It's a big truck, but I feel like the V8 was more instant power than this was. I know it's not a truck to be, you know, going ahead and really race, but you know, when you need to haul large things, it would be nice. But it does get the power going. Once you kind of get it going, it is good feeling power. But yeah, this thing has been nice. With the bigger tank, when we got it, we were looking at a 700 mile range, I think it was, with the full tank. But yeah, this has been really good. It does sound nice though. That is one thing. Even though it's a 6-cylinder, and this has that pumping thing where it kind of quiets the engine, which I believe you can turn off, but it does sound nice with this. Again, it is a little bit of a turbo lag. The brakes are great though. I do like the brakes in this. It did feel safe, especially, you know, if we're hauling a big thing like, you know, big car transport or something like that. I'm happy to know that the brake pedal, I'm not having to really mash down like I would even if with just the standard Silverado, the GMC or the GM trucks. You really had to push down a lot of bite, you know, a lot of force. With this, it's comfortable. It's not like really snap your head kind of thing. So it's bearable. It's nice feeling pedals. Again, the power can be there when you get it going. But yeah, this has been really good. Now, it does drive like a truck. As far as drivability, it does drive like a truck. We do have air suspension in the back, but again, that's more for towing stability, nothing more. It's not really going to help you with better ride, so to speak. But you could tell this truck is made to be loaded up, and then you know, then it will be comfortable, or can be comfortable. You know, compared to the 1500 with air suspension, which is just a dream to drive. But long roads on this, you know, highway, no problem. It shouldn't be a problem. But super bumpy roads, just be ready, because yeah, this suspension is on the stiffer side because, again, of the larger towing capacity that this has. But overall, this has been a really nice truck. Can this tow Miata? Hell yeah. You probably wouldn't even feel the tow truck, the Miata in the back. Yeah, this would be nice to have as a towing rig. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the Ram 2500 Lone Star model. Well, remember, find the right gear. See ya.